Okay, so when it comes to any AI tool where you are creating a character of some kind, first you have to train that character using a sequence of reference images. And so here I have a folder, and inside of this folder, I have a series of pictures with Kira. And so after I upload these images into the system, it's going to use these reference images, and it's going to create a model or a clone of Kira that I can use forever forward after that. For example, coming into VidBuzz right here, if I click this over to character mode, we can see that I have a few characters in the system. I'm going to choose Kira 3, and down here I'm going to type a woman in a red dress. I'll just submit that, and so it's going to basically create a prompt for this. And here I'll just click generate, and now it's going to create some pictures of Kira in a red dress. There we go. And so as we can see, we now have Kira in a red dress. So the question is, how do you get all of these reference images in the first place? If you don't have any sort of character and you don't have any sort of reference images, how do you actually get these to train a character of your own? So that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Here in VidBuzz, obviously we have these different modes right here. And for this part, we want to make sure that this is in standard mode. I'll go ahead and change this to 2, and I'll change the aspect ratio to 9:16. And now we can just start creating our character. So in this case, I'm just going to pretend that we're trying to create some sort of redhead model. So I'm going to say, create a redhead model. Sure, we'll start with that, keep it super basic. And now we can see that it went ahead and enhanced this prompt. So I'm just going to generate these images and see what kind of results that we get here. And boom, there we go. Now we have our images right here. Now we want to make sure that the AI understands the body profile of this person. And so I'm going to say, make it so she is wearing a bikini. I'll submit that. And so now it's going to modify the prompt to put her in a bikini. And again, this is important so that the AI can understand the body profile of this person. So there we go. I'll click generate again. And at this point, you can just continue to make iterations and modifications until you get exactly what you want. In this case, she's looking like she needs to eat a cheeseburger. So let's say, make her less skinny. Okay, and that's a little better. All right, so after a handful of iterations, let's say that you get to a version that you like. Let's say that this is the one that I want to work with right here. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and click this little check mark, and we can see that it's then gone ahead and added this into the active image or the reference image right here. And so now what I can do is come over and click this over to consistency mode. And this allows me to start generating multiple perspectives of this character while maintaining the consistency of the character. So if I were to type in create a close-up of her face, I'll click this, and that will set that as the new prompt. And now I can just click generate. We can now see that it's created a close-up of her face. Now, not everything will be perfect. As we can see, there's some weird stuff going on with that one. But overall, these are some nice pictures of her face with a number of different perspectives. And so these will be really good when we're trying to train our character because we need multiple perspectives and angles of her face. That's exactly what you want because you want the AI to understand the shape of the nose, the shape of the cheekbones, and all these kinds of things. So again, that's why it's really important to make sure that you have multiple angles, multiple perspectives. So now what I'll do is I'll just say, create a side profile shot. And so this will hopefully just create a side profile shot of the entire woman because once again, the AI needs to understand what her body profile looks like from multiple angles when we're training that model. Okay, and so here we go. Now we have some side profile images of this model. Now, again, you can always modify these pictures if you want to. All I would have to do is set this as the new reference image, and then I can tell it to modify the body or change certain things however I want. And I'll just continue on with this process, kind of changing the angle, hairstyle, all this kind of stuff. And so here I've collected 10 different pictures of her with different angles. Generally, you want to have anywhere between 10 and 20 pictures. Again, different angles, close up, far away, side profiles, different hairstyles. You get the idea. More variety is better. But just for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead with these 10. And so after you have your reference images, you're just going to come right here to the home button on VidBuzz, click that. And now in here, you're going to see this one called build a character. And now at this point, I can go ahead and train the first version of this model. I'll just call her Sally. I'll drag in the images here. and then I just have to click train. So now coming back into the AI canvas, if you click on your character dropdown, you should see your character in here. Now keep in mind, it can take up to 30 or 40 minutes for your character to train. So if you don't see it in here right away, don't worry, just give it some time, walk away, go eat a sandwich, and come check on it later, and then your character will show up in here. All right, so after your character has trained, you should now see it in the drop-down. So now we can see here is my character, Sally. So I'll go ahead and select that. And now let's try to generate some images with Sally. So I'm gonna use a reference image here from my collected screenshots. And we'll just do Sally as, maybe we'll make Sally into this tennis girl right here. I'll select that, generate a prompt. I'll change the aspect ratio to 9:16. We'll do 4 images. And so now it's generated our prompt. Let's see what Sally looks like as a tennis girl. All right, and so here we go. Now we have some images of Sally as a tennis girl. Let's say make it so her skirt is yellow. We'll get a new prompt here. There's the new prompt. Let's see if it changes her outfit to yellow. Cool, and there we go. So now she has a yellow tennis outfit on. And as we can see, it's very consistent. Her face looks exactly the same in each image. And so that is how you can create your initial set of training images.